Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. One of the requirements of the Sars protesters was that there should be a judicial panel of inquiry that will be looking at some of the things that Sars had done in the past, and all those involved should be brought to book, and some of their victims should be rewarded. And for Lagos State, they have already set up their judicial panel of inquiry and restitution for victims of SARS, and they have already started hearing or started receiving petitions from victims, and the hearing has kick-started. Guess what? Some of the stories are so heartbroken and so heartbreaking and so troubling that you begin to wonder if these guys really have spines in them, because some of the things that they did was unthinkable. I just want to let's just look at today what the people, the victims that have come out to speak, what they have to say. And what we have here, I'm going to read it through so that you hear it for yourself. And the news have it that the Judicial Panel of Inquiry and Restitution for Victims of SARS-related abuses in Lagos got on their way Tuesday with one of the petitioners recounting his police brutality ordeal. Okeliagu Obonike, a father of five, told the panel that in 2012, Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad operatives detained and tortured him for 47 days at their Ikeja office without trial. Obunike alleged that the operatives also stole and sold his car, a Volkswagen Boss, land, bags of cement, inverter, and carted away all the possessions in his house. He testified as the first petitioner since the governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu set up the nine-member panel on October 15, following weeks of near nationwide in protests or NSAS protests. SARS, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, was dissolved by the Inspector General of Police following protests over the atrocious conduct of the unit. Three other petitioners were scheduled for hearing yesterday. They are a paraplegic a paraplegic on wheelchair, Mr. Ndukwe Ekekwe, Olukoya Ogungbeje, and Mr. Basil Chita Ejakwa. But only Obonike testified in persons. Ogumbeje, a lawyer, and Ejagwa were absent but represented by their counsel. They prayed the court to adopt their petition as their testimony. The court granted their application. The testimony of Ekekwe, whose spine was broken after allegedly being thrown from a two-story building, was adjourned to give the Commissioner of Police in Lagos time to appear and respond to the allegations. Panel Chair Judge Emeritus Doris Okuwobi adjourned till 10 a.m. on October 30th. The panel was scheduled to begin full sitting on Monday but could not do so because three of its members, Renu Odwala, Temitokwe, and Lucas Koyejo, had yet to be sworn in. Upon the arrival, Odwala and Temitokwe, both youth representatives nominated by an online poll, took their oath alongside Koyeju, the zonal coordinator, Southwest Zone National Human Rights Commission. Obonike told the panel that he was arrested after tendering his resignation as manager of a firm following a false complaint of theft by his boss. He said he was taken to Ojo police station before being transferred to SARS office in Ikeja. There he was beaten, hung on a pole, and paraded as a thief in a market after he refused to confess to a bogus theft charge a day after his arrest. They started beating me, paraded me before Alaba market. The beating was too much. They broke my head. Then they took me back to the station and called my boss. I spent 47 days with SARS, Abonike said. He identified a policeman responsible as Inspector Sunday Elias Baba Ajagba and ASP's Assistant Superintendent of Police Haruna. He said, my family didn't know where I was. When my mother and wife finally came, they beat them up in my presence. They took over my house, sold my car, my inverter, phones, and seized my land documents. A petitioner said he eventually got judgment against the police on February 26, 2016 at the Federal High Court in Lagos. Justice Ibrahim Buba ordered the police to give him 10 million naira as exemplary damages, but the police refused to pay. He added, no compensation has been made till date. That's why I came forward to the panel. My properties were not given back to me. The only one I have got back is the landed property document in 2017. Justice Okikwolu Igbile ordered the release of my documents. When asked what he wanted of the panel, Obunike said, I want the panel to compel the police to do what the court has said. I am tired of suffering, feeling school fee is a problem. Justice Okubi promised that the panel would make its finding on Obunike's allegation public within 7 working days. Afterward, Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Onigbanjo's son pledged that the government would not interfere in the panel work, adding that the state is determined to get to the bottom of this matter and will leave no stone unturned to ensure justice is done on both sides. He added, Lagos would ensure the panel is independent. There will be no interference from the executive. Anybody who has been abused should come forward. Nigerian Bar Association President Olumide Agbata also pledged the association's cooperation with the panel. Agbata pledged to send in an observer for every day of the sitting. Apart from Justice Okuwobi, retired, Odwala, and Temitokwe, other members of the panel are Senior Advocate of Nigeria Ebun Olu, Director, Lagos State Directorate of Citizen Rights, Mr. Oluwatosin Odusanya, a representative of the civil society group, Ms. Patient Udo, and a human rights activist, Mr. Segun Awosanya Singaling. The panel will sit from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for 6 months. The designated sitting days are Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturday at the Lagos Court of Arbitration, number 1A Remi Oluwode Street, Lekki, Phase 1, Lagos. The panelists are tasked with listening to the submissions of survivors, interrogating the accused person, determining the veracity of all claims, and recommending punishment for guilty and appropriate compensation for the victim. Wow, this is a good one. I tell you the truth because it will help to correct a lot of things that have been staring in our face. Some of the cases we are going to be listening to, well, I'll make sure that I try to read up and I try to bring up some of these cases so that we get to know how the Lagos State panel of inquiry and restitution for victim of SARS are striving day after day. I think this is one of them that Nigerians will be overly interested in. Don't forget that most of the victim of SARS are mostly in south, that's south, southeast, and southwest especially. And I feel that with what the Lagos State governor has done, other people should follow suit by ensuring that speedily they form a committee made up of some ex lawyers and also human rights activists, possibly a member of the Nigerian Human Rights Commission, and also a representative of the youth, so that Nigerians can hear exactly what has been happening with SARS. Because for some persons, they believe it's just an accusation, that the social media is trying to play a fast one on Nigerians so that they can, frustrate some of these policemen for what they have been doing. But guess what? The truth is that these things are true, and we have already started hearing from some of these persons, and we are hopeful that they will be speedy about it and there will be no magu magu at the end of the day. Nigeria is waiting to hear most of this case. And another thing is the people must be convinced that after now, this so-called members of police force will not come after them, because most people right now will be scared to appear before the panel of inquiry to explain themselves and the kind of things that they had gone through. Reason being that They just believe that Nigeria is Nigeria. One day, these guys will come after them and will destroy their lives. So I think that should be given. They should give them that assurance so that people can start coming out. And I feel also that those in the panel of this panel must be protected enough so that they would not lose their life in the process of sitting as a member of this investigative panel. Well, that's where we'd like to leave it. We'll continue to bring you more information on the reports given by